qualifiers. Turkey and Latvia, Sweden and Ukraine. So Sweden and Ukraine will be tipping off their World Cup qualifiers campaign also today. All of the European teams attempting to make it to the 32-team FIBA Basketball World Cup in China, which will be held in 2019. All of them are in action today. So this is a special day, an historic day in basketball. This is a day when basketball comes home in Europe. So Turkey, who have had the luxury of hosting some major events, their fans really have been spoiled in the grand scheme of things. They hosted Eurobasket 2001, they played in the host of the 2010 FIBA Basketball World Cup, and also they just hosted the Eurobasket in 2017, and their national teams, as a result, have benefited from a lot of the home fans, and they will be a testament as much as anybody how special it is to play basketball games at home. Now, Latvia are on the road, and wouldn't you know it, these two teams played at the Eurobasket back in the summer, and they played in the group phase, and Latvia won that encounter. So that was played in the Asian side of Istanbul, and now we're actually outside of Istanbul, another part of the country, just south, as I said, as you look on the map, of the Sea of Marmara. So Turkey really captured the imagination of neutral fans this summer for their hard work and tenacity. Saw Dush Balbay coming out, and a lot of these players, just a real testament to what Turkish basketball is all about. They played with a lot of intensity, a lot of heart, and of course being driven by their former national team player who is a coach now, Ufuk Sarıca. And without question, a great appointment by Turkey, and that is one reason why there's so much excitement about Turkish basketball. Is he is playing, he is identifying his country's strengths and trying to get his players to play a style of basketball that is both appealing to the fans, but also it's going to be effective. So we're in for a real treat today. Two teams, really, two countries that are on the way up in international basketball. Latvia making it to the quarterfinals of the Eurobasket, Turkey the round of 16. Now they're going to trade blows today. Now we're going to have the playing of the national anthems for both Latvia and Turkey, starting with Latvia. So always one of the great moments of any international basketball when you stand there as a player, especially, and you listen to the national anthem. of your country. It's all about patriotism and togetherness, and you're not just playing for yourself. You're playing for everybody who lives in your country, and it's a magnificent, magnificent event. Anybody that's ever experienced playing for their national team say it's the greatest honor that they've ever had. So Ufuk Sorica making sure he gets a few jokes across here with the referees before the start of the game. And we'll get a look at the rest. We'll get a look at the rosters. We'll get a look at the starting lineups. Arnes Vekvagar's the new coach. He was an assistant coach. He used to play for Latvia himself. And Latvia taking a team photo here. They're the referees today. And Serdin Dozai, Alexander Glizic. And quite a few of these, large number of players, in fact, were with the national team that played at the Euro Cup this summer. And looks like no Kini Sipahi, which is slightly surprising. But anyway, Roland Fremanis in that team for Latvia. Igor Skele played a big part this summer, or an important part. Zanis Painis had a good game against Turkey when these two teams met. And, of course, the coach Arnes Vekvagars, who had been an assistant to Einars Bagatskis. And their starting five will be Silins, Skele, Painis, Pasesniks, and Jakovics. Giannis Blooms, the longtime national team star for Latvia. He'll be a crucial player for them as well. Dosh Balbai up at the top there. Birkin Batuk, Simi Erden. Names that you want to look out for under coach Ufuk Sorica. Sandley as well. Those rosters coming and going pretty quickly there, folks. Sorry about that. And Ermis, Turin, Erden, Mamatoglu, and Beerson in that starting five. And without question, Mamatoglu, from an offensive standpoint, has the potential to be a real superstar in these World Cup qualifiers. On the right there, the great Hidu Turtoglu, the president now of the Turkish Basketball Federation, in a pregame ceremony. Turtoglu, one of the true legends of the 12 Giant Men. You'll remember him playing in 2001 at the Eurobasket, and went on to have a long, famous career in the NBA. Also came back and helped lead Turkey to the final of the 2010 FIBA Basketball World Cup. And clearly very popular, a popular figure in Turkish basketball for the fans and everybody. But all that stuff, forget about it. This is all about these guys, coached by Arnes Vekvagars, who have a chance now to do something very special, and that's to win in the very first World Cup qualifier for their country, that their country is playing. And the same you can say for coach Ufuk Sorica. He's had the high. Both of these teams have had the high of playing at the Eurobasket. Now, and they knew this was coming right around the corner, a showdown in the World Cup qualifiers. So the key, remember, is that for each of these teams, they want to at least finish in the top of their group, which is Group B, which also has Sweden and Ukraine. They want to finish in the top three and advance to the second round. And for the second round, they would again need to finish in the top three of their group of 6 teams. And you would ultimately have 12 teams from Europe advancing to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Now, that's a lot of teams, especially when you consider how many other teams are going from Asia, the Americas, and Africa. Asia will have 7 teams that will qualify. The Americas will have 7 teams that will qualify. Africa will have 5 teams that will qualify, and China, as the host nation, will also have a place. So there will be 8 teams from Asia. But it all starts here. And don't forget the Olympics. To get to Tokyo Olympics, you have to first get to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. So the stakes are extremely high. So there was a minute's silence here to recognize a very important figure in Turkish basketball, and we're about ready to get things underway here. And now we're off. So Pasechnik's the young 2.15-meter center jumped for Latvia and won it for his team. Now Skele gets it to the big center, the young center Pasechniks, and already he's making quite an impact on this game. Boy, you know, there's so much enthusiasm, not just about the Latvians making headlines around the world, as Kristaps Porzingis did this summer at the Eurobasket, but so many other young Latvians like Pasechniks who are coming up. And Ermis's pass to Semi Erden goes out of bounds. So number 41, Jakovic, dribbling around. Skele gets it again to Pasechniks, and he draws the foul. Well, that is good ball movement, and maybe a little unlucky there for Turin to have the foul called. Looked like he went straight up. And Pasechniks makes the first. So very bright start for the young center. Just 21 years of age. Drafted 25th in this summer's draft by the Orlando Magic. And he plays with Herbalife Gran Canaria in Spain's Liga Endesa. Now the drive from Mamatoglu, and Pasechniks with the rebound. Skele, he's one of the stars in the Basketball Champions League, the Ventspils. He's got it. Now he goes baseline, little runner. It's good. And the Latvians looking very comfortable as they start off. And the pass to Semi Erden, and he travels. And Ufuk Sorica is might want to get a timeout here to settle his team down. They have had a very shaky start to proceedings. Skele over to Seelens, and he is off. Now, Ermis over to Sertac Sadley, and an offensive foul has been called on Turkey. So anything that could go wrong has gone wrong, it seems, for Turkey in the first couple of minutes. And it was an attempt to set a screen there, or a pick, that led to the foul. So the foul on Beerson. Giannis Paynes in the game, number 31. Skele, and it goes Pasechniks, and he lays it up and in. And it's been so easy for Latvia Their fans must be jumping for joy in Riga. Absolutely. About as easy as it could be. And this Bursa crowd here has been stunned into silence. Let's try to listen in on the coach and see if he says anything we can understand. I think Ufuk Sarıç is going to be talking in Turkish, so we'll keep talking. And if you look at the numbers, Turkey have only attempted one shot, and it was inside the arc. They missed it. Latvia, meanwhile, have attempted 3, and they've hit 3 of 4. Hiru Turkoglu in the middle. They're very excited about the World Cup qualifiers. He realizes that to regularly bring home crowds back to Turkey to watch the national team, that it's going to be good for basketball in this country. But it does stand to reason that the players are going to have to show a little bit more here, and they seem to really kind of they're stuck in first gear at this stage. And it goes. And this is much better. This time, Ceilings called for the foul. So Turin will get a couple of free throws. Look at that score, 8-0. And sighs of relief can be heard all throughout this arena. Second free throw is good as well. Zinis Paynes brings the ball up the floor for Latvia. Now Skele kind of bobbles the ball, ends up putting up a prayer from the right corner. Meli Mamatoğlu bounce pass. Shanley. And Shanley can't knock it in. He's a sweet shooting big man, stretch center. A stretch 5. I guess Jakovic is a teammate, number 41 of Skele at Ventspils. Here's Ceilings. Oh, he gets rejected from Shanley. Shanley says, "This is my house, and you're not going to do anything in it." And Hermes drives in and draws the foul. Pasechnik raises his hand to say guilty. Here you go. Although he was just got him with the body, but that was Shanley at the other end. It's interesting how defensive play often is what a team needs to really give it a spark. Now Janis Blooms comes in. Jakovic is taking a seat. Look at this crowd. It's impressive, isn't it? Nice crowd in Bursa. And this is pretty much the trend that we've seen. And we've seen some amazing crowds all over. And of course, some arenas or gyms aren't quite as big as others when you're trying to take the game out into the country. But overall, we have got some amazing crowds on the opening days of the World Cup qualifiers. And it comes as no surprise. Blooms gets it inside. Pasechnik goes up again. This time surrounded, and he's still fouled. So he's working hard, the young man. Pasechnik's a little bit too hard with that. Linkenfagros knows it's going to be a wild ride today. I think both of these coaches do. There is some inexperience in some of these teams. This is another reason why they're having the World Cup qualifiers. It's an aim to see new stars in international basketball, to see these guys get a chance, to see the likes of Pasheknik, who clearly is going to be a big star, but wasn't able to make the team this summer. Look at Mamatoğlu, drives in. Looked like the shot was blocked as it went up. And the ball goes out of bounds. Pearson comes up. Look at that, Paynes. Boy, it was looked like some contact there from Paynes that wasn't called. And good steal from Pearson. Gets it to Ermis, back to Pearson, goes up and a little bit too hard. Now Sheelins over to Paynes. Oh, puts up a crazy left-handed shot. I'm not sure if he was trying to get the foul called. Long one. And the rebound goes to Shele. Sheelins from the corner. And the long one no good. Pearson goes up for the offensive rebound and a foul in the scrap for the rebound. You've got some three talented players there. If you look at right here, yeah, it was Paynes that came in and pushed off on Pearson to commit the foul. But I'll tell you what, Pasheknik and Paynes are two long, very athletic players. Blooms, the most experienced of all the Latvian players out there. So they have the makings of a very, very good team. And the rebound by Sheelins, also another bright prospect. Skele working against Ermis. And the shot is missed, but in the battle for the rebound, a foul has been committed. Look at the crowd in Bursa. Well, this is basketball country, isn't it? Freimanis is coming into the game. Pasheknik takes a seat. Paynes drives in and draws the foul. He will go to the line for two. And the free throw is good. So 12-4 is the lead for Latvia. It's 4 points in the first 6 minutes for Turkey. Ermis almost loses possession. Back to Mamatoğlu. Good! He is exceptional, folks, at his craft. And if he gets hot, he can really carry the team. And the drive, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Looked like Freimanis may have been fouled as well, but nevertheless, a little physicality being allowed out there. Jakovic back in the game, number 41, inbounds it, and Blums puts up his first three-pointer. And everybody remembers Blums. He had a good Eurobasket game against the Turks. Koksal drives in. Shanley, and he's fouled. So Paynes picks up his second. So if you remember, as we look at Shanley, just Blooms hit that last three-pointer. And I don't know if you caught the reaction of Ufuk Soreica, the coach of Turkey, but it was almost as if he was like, if I haven't told you guys a million times, there's one player we simply cannot allow to get it going against us. It's Giannis Blooms. And the reason why is because when these teams played at the end of the group phase of the Eurobasket, Blooms kind of snapped out of his funk and scored 17 points. He hit 5 of 8 three-pointers. So he knows very well how dangerous Blooms is. Now, good defense, and the drive, and Koksal puts it up and in. And twice now, the defense from Turkey has provided a big spark. Blooms brings it across the court. Here's Blooms. Oh, he gets rejected. Shanley just says, don't even think about bringing it around the paint. Once again, folks, hashtag this is my house. And that right there, my friends, is Shanley's house. He's not going to let anything in. Bloom says, well, if you're not going to let me shoot it in there, I'll just step out and hit another three-pointer. Goodness gracious. Such an important player in the grand scheme of things in the World Cup qualifiers for Latvia, Giannis Blooms. Koksal, bounce pass. Shanley hands it off. Turin lays it up and in. Excellent patience, and Shanley is wheeling and dealing in all respects, whether it's scoring, his defense, his passing for Turkey. Seelins hands it off to Freimanis. He misses, and the rebound by Sertac Shanley. Now Dosh Balbai. Remember Dosh Balbai? If you're watching in the U.S., he played his college basketball at Texas. Mamatoglu, oh, what a shifty move from Mele Mamatoglu. Right around Roland Freimanis. And with that move, the deficit has been cut to 4 points. Boy, Mamatoglu is just old school excellent. Look at this. He is like a magician. And folks, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This crowd is impressive. I'm sure the Turkish Basketball Federation is very excited about how the city of Bursa has helped them launch what looks like a fantastic opening World Cup qualifier. So it looks like Merrick Maheras is going to come into the game. Number 5 for Latvia. See the rebounding totals so far. Latvia doing okay there. Staley driving in with a little runner. Jakovic gets it inside. Paynes turns and scores. Boy, coming out of a timeout, that is a good-looking play. Shanley short. Jakovic, the youngster. And it goes. And Maheras, who played for Latvia at Eurobasket 2015, wasn't in the team this summer, but he's a high flyer. And Blooms puts up a little runner. And Maheras keeps it alive finally. Pearson Batuk is able to knock it over to Shanley. Three-point attempt and the rebound, Pasekniks. Blooms drives in, gets rejected. And right at the end of the quarter, did he get it off in time? Doesn't matter. Well, he had to do it, Blooms. He's got those 2 3-pointers, and that's the difference in the game, really. 20-14 at the end of one in favor of Latvia. Another look at the rejection. See the shooting numbers in that first quarter. Well, let's look back at some of the highlights here in this first quarter. And Latvia were going down early and often to their big man, Pasekniks. Shanley getting the rejection. How effective was Panish? Will vary as he was bumped as he got down low. Mamatoglu, effective, not surprisingly. He's got 5 points, 1 on the drive and 1 on that shot. Kokschel got the steal in the fast break. Remember, 12 teams from Europe will end up making it to the 32-team World Cup in China. This is the start of the qualifiers. Dush Balbai. And the three-point attempt is almost in. But Turin misses, and then a foul on the rebound on Batuk. So that was a good box out. Halsic in the game wearing number 2. Sechniks hands it off. There's Halsic there, out on the perimeter. Driving in. Jakovic didn't hit anything, so even though he gets it back, the shot clock expires. Here's Turin again, launching one. And diving out of bounds for it is Kokschel, trying to save it. And you really get the feeling that in this game, Kokschel could be a huge player for Turkey, being a genuine spark on defense, but also bringing some physical play that will come in handy. Jakovic the pressure. There's Kokschel right on cue. Oh, look at that! crosses him up, goes in for the layup, and Koksal is coming out and giving Turkey a lift that they desperately need. Look at the defense from Batuk on Asselj, and his shot is off target. Koksal hands it off to Dosh Balbai. Passes out the corner. Batuk for three. That was short. That would have brought the house down if he'd made it. Excellent hustle to get it back in bounds. That was Beerson who chased it down, number 18. Dosh Balbai for three. Asej is bringing it, passing it back out to Mers. Jankovic, three-pointer. So touch Shanley. Over to Beerson. Oh, well off. And how long will he go without Mamatolu on the court? That's the question. That's your bona fide score. And coming from behind, Batuk. Look at the hustle from Shanley getting on the floor. Dosh Balbai now. And then driving in. Beerson, he's fouled on the play. And Turkey showing the signs of hustle, intensity, and heart that made them such crowd favorites this summer. I've never seen a Turkish public warm to a hard-working crew of players the way that they got behind Turkey this past summer. Here's Beerson. Look at this. So the signs are there of a Turkish recovery, and it's interesting to me that anything positive that happens for Turkey starts on the defensive end. They have got to play well at this end of the floor. Koksal on Iger Skele. Here he is, Skele this time. Well, nobody stepped in front of him, and he got the layup. Here's Mamatolu in the game. Puts up a three. And Pasechniks with the rebound. Well, we've had one game in the European World Cup qualifiers today as Koksal reaches in and picks up the foul. The first game in the World Cup qualifiers for Europe was won by Israel 88-68 over Estonia, and that was in Israel. Estonia made it through the pre-qualifiers to make it to the World Cup qualifiers. Alsej misses that one, and Semi Erden, who's back in the game. Now Mamatolu left his feet, wanted to score. Excellent hustle from Iger Skele to come over and impede his progress. Alsej also did a great job before he got there, getting the hand up. And Alsej picks up the foul for the holding on Mamatolu. Beerson back outside of Koksal. 4 minutes into the second quarter. Koksal puts it up. Oh, he is having a terrific overall game here for Turkey. Six points for him. A couple rebounds, a couple of steals. And Semi Erden with the rebound. Quick outlet pass to Mamatolu. And the turn, and what a play from Beerson! He spun quickly to his right, went hard to the rim, His legs split open, and he just laid it up. It's a highlight reel play, folks. So Pasechnik still has the 7 points to lead Latvia. Blooms with the 2 3-pointers. Panish has 5, and Skelly with 4. Six points for Koksal, 5 for Birsen and Mamatolu for Turkey. There's Koksal there, showing us the D. And what a move at the end to get inside. Look at this crowd. I mean, it is something to behold, isn't it? I mean, this isn't what you would call the main event today in Bursa. This is the only event. Everybody's here. What a great, great opening day World Cup qualifier in Turkey. (25-23). Turkey haven't been this close in a while. There's a foul in the backcourt. Is that 3 fouls on Koksal? I think it is. No, it's his second. I thought he'd picked up, thought he already had 2, but anyway, he's picked up his second. And you are going to pick him up when you play that physical style that he does play. Metekan Birsen, just 22 years of age. So clearly, this is a player that's going to have a lot to say about in Turkish basketball. Look at the reach from Mamatolu, just takes away from Blooms, hands it off to Koksal. And then Ermis doesn't go up and finish. Should have probably come down with it. Blooms goes to the other end and hits a 3. 5-point swing. Well, that's got to be frustrating for Turkey. And you can just hear how it just kind of quiets the crowd as well, the disappointment. Ermis gets in. This time he was blocked. Better defense by Latvia. Ermis turns. Birsen left open. Good! Can you say superstar in waiting? He is showing us something now, folks. Metekan Birsen. Well, he's come up through the youth ranks. Birsen, most recently at the Under-20 European Championship 2015. So it's no surprise that he's getting a chance here under Ufuk Sarıca. Blooms puts up another 3. Time he's off. Pasechnik's thought about launching one. Now Skele. Painter says, I'll take it. And he's fouled by Simi Erden. That is a cardinal sin in basketball. I mean, you don't want to foul the shooter, the jump shooter, and you definitely don't want to foul the three-point shooter. And Simi Erden kind of, for some reason, left his hand out there and raked Pandus across the face. That'll be disappointing for Ufuk Sarıca when he looks at it on the replay. Pandus makes the second. Got an interesting routine at the free throw line, doesn't he? Catches it and shoots it quickly. Watch. Doesn't dribble. So he makes 2 of 3. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but there's no need to foul a guy who's going to be taking that shot in that manner late in the shot clock. Just want to get a hand in the face, but not on the face. Koksal gets it to Semierden. And possession is fouled, or fouled Semierden. Erden was injured and had an operation on the shoulder, had to miss the latter part of the second half of last season. And he made it, you know, hadn't played many competitive games when he came into the Eurobasket this summer, and I thought he did pretty well. Mamatoglu decides to take it all the way. Shot's blocked, but it lands to a teammate. Koksal for three. Oh, Koksal! He's going to be a legend after this game. It's his best ever game for Turkey, folks. He's getting a chance, and he's making the most of it. Seelins off the back of the iron. Grazulis rebounds it, but then loses it out of bounds. So Latvia, who had the big, what you have to describe as a big lead, their biggest lead, 8 points, now in danger of falling behind Turkey. Here's Mamatoglu, goes to his left, hesitates. Oh, beautiful pass, Semierden! Turkey have taken the lead. And Mamatoglu just has quality in his game. You saw the hesitation, then he makes the pass, and now Blooms is able to get the foul called on Meli Mamatoglu. So Blooms goes back to the line with a chance to put him in front. Look at this. They think he's going to shoot it, and in the end he just dumps it to Big Semi for the dunk. Gosh, and Blooms was well short. Well, some of the players missing from both of these teams, really, but it has done nothing to dampen the, first of all, enthusiasm of the crowd, and certainly has done nothing to take away from the excitement of this game. And it just goes to show you that there is a lot of young talent out there bursting at the seams to get a chance. Ermis for three. Good! Turkey got the wind in their sails right now, folks. 34-31. You saw Omer Anan there, the former national team point guard, decked out in the suit, cheering his team on. Omer Anan was in that 2010 team that got to the podium and got to the final at the World Cup. And the miss and the rebound. Now Ermis brings it up. Nice drive, Ermis. Doesn't finish. Now Paynes with 1.5 minutes remaining in the half. Scaly. Paynes drives in, and he will get a trip to the line as well, the chance to tie it. So timeout on the floor here. And just when it seems like Turkey's about to really make a run, something happens. Blooms makes a big shot. Or the likes of Janis Paynes drives and draws the foul. So Ufuk Sarıca wants to talk to his players. See the rebounding totals. And the 2-pointers and 3-pointers. 36%. Both teams was at 4 threes. So it's even. Now, just as a reminder, as we look at some of the highlights, Israel won against Estonia earlier today in first round Group H. Bulgaria, Finland, that'll be starting soon in Bulgaria. Czech Republic will be hosting Iceland. That'll be on soon as well. Poland will be entertaining Hungary. Bosnia and Herzegovina will be at home to Russia. Sweden will be playing against Ukraine up in Scandinavia. Kosovo will be hosting Lithuania. Germany will be hosting Georgia. Spain will be visiting Montenegro. Croatia are at the Netherlands. Austria are playing at Serbia. Romania at Italy. Belarus at Slovenia. And France at Belgium. It just goes on and on. Greece at Great Britain. Just a fantastic lineup today. A feast of international basketball. What an exciting, exciting week we're having. Turkey and Latvia now knotted at 34. And Ermis, somebody has gone down. Not sure what happened. He's clutching his knee. I can't see who it is. So it's Semi Erden that's gone down. Goodness me. And he got it in the left shin. And he's in pain. So that's a worrying sign for Turkey. So he's getting some spray. He has had his injury problems. There's no doubt about that. It's the last thing we want to see is Semi Erden get hurt. And Hidu Tutoglu, the Turkish Basketball Federation president, looking on and obviously concerned. So fingers crossed he's going to be okay. He's helped up. By the way, I haven't mentioned, as you look at Semi Erden being helped off the floor, here's another look at the collision with Skele. It almost looked as if Semi Erden kind of stuck his leg out there. So that's a tough break for him. Listen, folks, if you want to keep up with all the action at the in the World Cup qualifiers, and also once the World Cup starts, once all the teams are there, you want to get the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 app for your mobile phone. Now, Ufuk Surica is talking to the referee for some clarification. Arnes Vekvagars also now wants to get some insight as to what that conversation was about. And the other thing I'll say, folks, is go to FIBA.basketball, and you can get the same information and everything else. So Erden has left the game. That was the highlight again. And they're not going to count the three-point shot that was hit after that. And Ufuk Surica says the play should not have stopped. But in fact, they're not going to give it to him. But I think Alexander Glizic, the Serbian referee, is doing a good job of just kind of listening to Surica, letting him blow off some steam without overreacting. Look at this. So there he goes down. And from that angle, it looked as if play had not been stopped. Now, if they're looking at the replay, they might actually put that 3 points on the board. But there may have been another angle where it showed that the play should have stopped. But I'll tell you what, folks, every point matters in these games. And when you take 3 points off the board, that's a lot. Well, you know what? The referee's doing the best they can, and they're using the technology to help them make the decision. And Surica also a kind pat on the back of the referee to say, listen, I know it's a tough job, but let's just do our best. Shot clock winding down. Mamatolu short with that one, so frustration. Not only do they lose Airden, but they also lose 3 points. Skele gets it inside to Panish, who's been very active. Drazulis, Panish again, puts it up, turns with his left hand, misses everything. They haven't reset the shot clock. Drazulis puts it up, and Mamatolu has it with 28 seconds left and decides to hold it up a little bit. So there's about a 4-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock, 4.5 seconds probably. The game is knotted, 34 apiece. Mamatolu, shot clock down to 5, 4. Mamatolu steps back, puts up a 3. Good! He is clutch! Panish. And right at the end, the shot is not going to count. Well, they wanted the other 3 points. They didn't get it, but at least they were able to sign off with Mamatolu getting another 3-pointer. And that gives Turkey a 37-34 lead at halftime. Look at this. Step back 3-pointer, hand in the face. Natural born sharpshooter. Turkey now 5 of 13 from deep, 4-14 for Latvia. 7 steals for Turkey, none for Latvia. That's quite a stat, isn't it? 12 assists for Latvia and 9 turnovers for Latvia. Well, you know, it's all about defense for Turkey, isn't it? Defense leads to points. You really have to tip your hat to the likes of Kuksel. He came in, made a huge contribution. We have got an exciting one here in Turkey, folks. We'll see you for the second half. Well, folks, the way the game started here, the World Cup qualifier between Turkey and Latvia, you thought this might be Latvia's day. Andres Pasečniks came out and scored 7 quick points. They were scoring easy baskets. Turkey looked completely out of the flow. But you know what? It kind of reminded us of this summer. There were times when Turkey just had awful starts, and once their defense started to get into it, they were able to pick up their game substantially. They were like Dr. and Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team. When the defense wasn't going, Turkey just simply wasn't at the races. But in this game, the defense got going, and they really turned it up a notch against Latvia. So they ended up taking a 3-point lead to the break. Look at this crowd, though. I mean, this is my house. This is, you want to know about what hashtag "This Is My House" means? Well, this is what it means. This is about international basketball going back to the people in the country all over the world, people that want to see their national team play, that are tired of waiting for the summertime to come around when maybe they're on holiday, they're on summer vacation. They want to be able to go see them throughout the year occasionally, you know, and also, you know, basketball, the powers that be want basketball to go to everybody, not just to the same cities all the time. So this is a wonderful occasion for Bursa, and you can see what it means to the people of Bursa, because they have come out in force today to watch Turkish national team basketball. So Seelens is back in the starting lineup here for the second half. And who's going to make the big plays for Arnes Bekvagars? We've got Jakovic in there as well. And we're off, folks. Another 20 minutes of exciting basketball. You can hear the crowd in the background. It's impressive stuff. And Pasečnik starts with a dunk. An alley-oop pass from Skele. So Ted Shanley in the game, played excellent when he came in the first half. Mamutoglu, go! Boy, he is textbook, isn't he? You ought to just make a video of him and show it to your players, coaches, if you're watching. He has got it all. He plays under control. He's got the release. And now he's got the platform to show what he's all about. He's got the Turkish national team. Skele drives in a little runner. And we thought he would be big time today, and he is one of the more experienced players in this national team here today. Pearson. Now Pearson, catches it, passes back out to Shanley. Ermis. And the pass to Shanley knocked out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock. And that was good reaction there from Seelens to step in and knock it away. Five-second, nope, they're going to call a block. Yes, they are indeed, a foul, a push-off on Turkey. So on Pearson, and that turns it over. Now Penas, who has a flair for the dramatic, he's got the ball in his hands. Goes left, goes right, decides to put it up, and it's good. One of the Players, he's played the last couple of European championships, the last couple of Eurobaskets for Latvia, Jānis Pēnis. They inbounded to Mamatoglou. He passed up the open jumper. And Shanley's telling him, look, you're the best thing we got. You need to shoot it when you're that wide open. Great atmosphere. The Turkish fans are singing. Pearson goes out. Turin comes back in. Ermis again to Shanley. Passes to Mamatoglou. Good! Case in point. When you get the ball in your hands, Mele, you got to put it up. It's 43-40. 4 of 6 from three-point range. As good as advertised. 14 points. Scaley. Shanley knocks it away. Ermis. And he's bumped by Jakovic. Jakovic slows up the break, and Vekvagars looking like he's in a very intense situation right now. That was the shot from Mele Mamatoglou. Shanley right at the charity stripe. Oh, he gets the shooter's bounce. Biggest lead of the game for Turkey. And this is where the likes of Pēnis are so important. He's been there, done this. And Pasechniks steps into it. Look at that. Well, we've seen his game inside. And the big fella, just like his compatriot Kristaps Porzingis, shows he can drill it from three. Mamatoglou, good! I'm not sure there's a better shooter in the World Cup qualifiers, folks. Mamatoglou just looks automatic. Pēnis puts up the short jumper and riposte. And Ermis brings it forward for Turkey. Shanley. Koksal. Mamatoglou open again, and this time he misses. Shows he's human. I know there were some people that were starting to doubt that. Jakovic, and Pēnis challenges, comes in, knocks the ball out of bounds. Where Jānis Pēnis, very interesting player. Had a great, I thought he had a really good season last year with PAOK in the Basketball Champions League. Got a lot of minutes. And now Kuric is in the game as well, the youngster. Number 17, and oh! Turin goes up for the dunk, but a foul called on Pasechniks. And Turin's given the evil eye. Look at that. He got him with the body. First one is good. The appreciative crowd. Everybody has been talking about how much talent there is in this Turkish system. A lot of the young players coming up. Of course, two members of this year's Eurobasket squad have gone to the NBA, Cedi Osman and Furkan Korkmaz. There's so much talent in the Turkish system, and we're getting a good look at some of it here. And good anticipation from Ermis. Prevents that pass from being completed to Kuric. And there's a ton of talent in that Latvian system as well. Panis over to Kurtic. Now Scaly. Bounce pass, Pasechnik. And the ball knocked out of bounds. The foul is on Turin. Pasechnik's at the line. I'll tell you what, this has got to be the game of the day for me. I mean, it's not going to get any better than this, although it probably will, because we've had so many good ones. You just never know. But Turkey and Latvia, it always had the look of a game because these are, of being special, because these are such big basketball nations. Both of them making so many headlines in so many different ways in the sport of basketball, but most recently, obviously, at the FIBA Eurobasket. And here they are. We didn't have to wait long for it, did we? They're back on the court. Mamatoğlu. And this time, Kurtic knocks it away from Melih Mamatoğlu. And now Scaly just inexplicably fumbles the ball away. And Mamatoğlu just says, I'm not going to go 1-on-4. I'm going to slow it up. So two mistakes that you don't often see right in a row. Ermis pulls up the three-pointer, and the lead is 7 for Turkey. Kurtic dribbles, probes, and instead of taking the shot, look to make the pass. Mamatoğlu pulls up and good. 9 points the advantage. And Bekvagar says, we've got to stop this run cold in his tracks. Let's call a timeout. Look at Hido Turkoglu, the pride on the faces of all the brass over there for Turkey. Hüseyin Besok, Latvia timeout. So Mamatoğlu already with 18 points. Ermis has the 7 assists, Beerson the 4 rebounds, and Mamatoğlu is not just doing it with his scoring, he's got 3 steals. Pasechnik with the 13 points. Panis has 4 rebounds, Scaly with the 6 assists, and Kurtic, who's just come into the game, has a 1 steal. These are the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 European Qualifiers, and that was the Scaly turnover. And then Ermis hitting another jump shot. Giannis Panis hands it off to Giannis Blooms. Here's Pasechnik again. Turns and manages to get the shot off, but nobody there for the rebound. Great defense by Sertaç Şanlı. Oh, the spin move from Ermis. Went right around Giannis Blooms. Jakovic pulls up and finally gets something to go for Latvia, who cut it back to a 9-point deficit. Koksal, who again has been a defensive spark, but also has hit some shots today. Sertaç Şanlı, little jump hook is good. Look at Koksal again, look at him dive for the loose ball. Look at Mamatoğlu, goes up and pats the Warrior on the back of the head. He wants to be out there batting. Look at this. Doing anything he can. And on that evidence, this Turkish team might want it just a little bit more than Latvia. Blooms passes to Jānis Pēnis. And Koksal would have done well to get the rebound instead of trying to bat it out to get a fast break. Pasechniks catches Pēnis for three, and he's fouled once again while attempting the three, and it's Koksal. Well, you know, I mean, he's running at him. He's not trying to hit him. He's trying to get a hand in the face. And it is a fine balance that you have to walk there when it comes to getting pressure on the three-point shooter and not fouling the three-point shooter, because the three-point shooter is definitely also looking to get fouled. So it has become part and parcel of every basketball game that we watch now. Somebody gets fouled shooting the three. And you get a player like Jānis Pēnis, and that is definitely the case. And he's, again, one of the more experienced players in this lineup. So Koksal takes a seat. Birkin Batuk back in the game for him. Ermis. Mamutoglu again, open, good. Folks, just write it down. The man is the best shooter in Europe. He is phenomenal. 60-49. Pasechniks thought about taking the long jumper. Pēnis, three-point attempt, good. Well, Jānis Pēnis says, I'm pretty good as well. Boy, he's putting up a big number himself now. 18 points. 7 of 8 at the line, Jānis Pēnis. That was his first three. Ermis, shot clock winding down. Look at him swing it. Mamutoglu has him in his face, and he still hits it. He can do no wrong. They're going to erect a bronze statue for Mamutoglu after the game. Jānis Pēnis, great defense from Turin. And Jānis Blooms catches it, but he is fouled by Batuk. And the crowd rains boos down on the referee. Mamutoglu has 24 points. That's a good call by the ref, I think. They're going for the ball. I mean, it's unfortunate, but look at this. I mean, he's making them when he's open. He's making them when somebody's in his face. Mele Mamutoglu. Pēnis again. Oh, he changed his directions. $1 million move, but only a 5-cent finish. He misses. Shanley goes right at Pēnis. Pēnis tries to knock it away. Oh, boy, Sertac Shanley looked like he was forcing it up there, but he banked it in like a pro. And the biggest lead of the game for Turkey, 65-52 with less than 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Look at that. Boy, that was a big-time play by Shanley. Timeout on the court, Latvia. Well, just take in the sights, folks. This is great stuff. Well, the Turkish flag's being waved all around the arena in Bursa, and look at the, it's a Friday night. This is it. You can't be anywhere else. You have to be here if you're in Bursa. And these people are hoping that their national team is going to send them home happy today. A lot of time left, though, for Latvia to come back, but this thing seems to be getting worse before it gets better. Blooms out of the timeout, passes. Scaler is able to chase it down. Blooms puts up a three. Mamatoglu to Dosh Balbai. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Mamatoglu. 5 on the shot clock. Mamatoglu, oh, the little hesitation. Now the runner. And the tap is good from the veteran who we haven't spoken about today. He's come in, Furkan Aldermish. So 26 seconds remaining in the quarter. And after the foul, Blooms goes to the line and makes the first. And the second one is good as well, so that brings a slight reprieve. And Beerston comes back in for Furkan Aldemir. So the final 21 seconds to go. And so quiet, you could hear a pin drop all of a sudden. People wondering, well, how is this going to finish? Well, it's going to finish with this man. Mamatoglu puts up another three. And unsuccessfully this time, but I think Turkey will be happy with the situation. They were up by 15. Now it's 67-54. Meli Mamatoglu having an outstanding game, 24 points. His team's up 13. Look at the shooting percentages for both teams. 10 of 20 now from deep for Turkey. Here's some of the highlights from the third quarter and the way that it started. Pasechnik's with the alley-oop after the pass from Scaly. It looked pretty good, but then Meli Mamatoglu said, hold on there. Just give me the ball, and I'll do what I do best. I'll shoot it. Looking back at the results again, Mamatoglu pulls up on the break. He's got so many plays, memorable plays, in fact, in this game alone. And the drive and the follow for Kanaldermish comes back into the game. Now Ermis, and he is fouled out on the perimeter by Giannis Blooms. So as a reminder, the teams Turkey and Latvia in this group, they're in Group B, along with Sweden and Ukraine. The teams that finish in the top 3 will advance to the second round. Turkey wanting to call a timeout here early, just to make sure they're all on the same page. So all of the teams from each of the groups, and there are 8 groups, will advance to that second round, the top 3 teams. Mamatoglu has the 24 points to lead the way. Ermis, 53% shooting. Mamatoglu. Ermis is at 50%. And shooting percentages for Latvia, 56% for Janis Panis with 18 points. Pasechniks, he's at 80%. And has 13 points. Of course, 7 of those came in the first quarter. (28-23). Latvia actually out-rebounding Turkey. Turin dumps it over, and Kanaldermish catches it and goes up for the dunk. Houses tries to bring some rain. Doesn't make the shot. Dush Balbai holds up, brings it back out, and gets it to Ermis. And he's fouled with 10 seconds on the shot clock by Alsej. Ermis. Now Dush Balbai goes between his legs, puts up a long jumper late in the shot clock, and Batuk out hustles Latvia to the ball. That's been part of the story today, is the hustle from Turkey, and Koksal, I think, really set the tone in that regard. Ermis shoots it too deep. Blooms with the rebound. Freemanus catches it, passes it up to Skele. Bounce pass intercepted by Furkan Aldemir. And then Ermis decides, I'm going to drive in. But instead of taking the shot, tries to make a pass, but nobody's there to catch it. And Alsej again misses from deep. Now, the interesting thing for Turkey is that they thrive in the up-tempo game. When the game gets kind of chaotic, helter-skelter. And now if they slow it down, you just wonder if it might take them out of their rhythm and be costly. Turin. And look at Dush Balbai fly high for the offensive rebound and putback. He's got some hops. Skele drives in. Oh, strong move from the veteran. Now the entry pass again. Dush Balbai And that was a great follow by Batuk. Dosh Balbai was in trying to get the score. The ball rammed out, and Batuk was there. Then they called goal interference. Look at this. Turin misses, and then Dosh flies in. And crash landing. Watch this. Ooh. I said Scala is a veteran, and he is sort of a veteran. He's been around for a while, but still only 24 years of age. Latvia get a couple back, but they've got a lot of work to do now. No question about it. Think about how this game has gone. They led 20-14 after the opening quarter, and then Turkey outscored them 23-14 in the second. And in the third, Turkey outscored them 30-20. So it is, look at this again. That was Blooms that he made contact with when he came in and made the shot. James Medichan Beerson back in the game. And he comes out of this game with a lot of credit as well. Scala pulls up, hands it back to Alsej, and Erson takes it away, but then loses it. Ermis, excuse me. Scala for three. Back outside to Alsej. He can't find his range for whatever reason. He's obviously a good shooter. Keeps looking for it. He's now 0 of 5 from three-point range. And pass taken away by Paynes, but then, oh, look at the hustle. And it could be a while before Pearson comes back. There he is. Puxel back in the game, so that's probably not what Latvia want to see, because they know that that's going to just ratchet the tempo up just that little bit more. Paynes drives in. Oh, tough move, tough finish, and a trip to the line. Boy, he has the ability to take the hit, to maintain his balance while he's in the air and make the shot. So Dush hands it off to Shanley. Batuk. Now we're at the midway point of the fourth quarter. The clock going to start becoming the enemy here for Latvia. And Sertaj Stanley catches it and scores a little rim rocker. Jakovic and Pasechniks rather turns and scores. And you almost wonder really if Latvia would have been better suited to really pound the ball into Pasechniks more than they did, because he was almost unstoppable at the beginning of the game. Paynes collects it quickly. Freeman picks it up. Paynes. Freeman puts up a deep one, gets it to fall. The three-pointer is good. Gets it back to single digits. 75-66. That was a full meter behind the arc. This was Shanley's dunk at the other end. So Turkey and Latvia, look at the shooting for both of these teams. And clearly, I mean, for Turkey, the 10 3-pointers that have been made, 6 were drilled by Mamatoğlu. So it just illustrates his importance to the cause. 18 assists for Turkey, 17 for Latvia. Four blocks for Turkey, just 1 for Latvia. That was Furkan Alderman when he came in. So Mamatoğlu back in, hands it off to Shanley. Oh, what quality. The big fella can shoot it. Pasechnik drives in, meets a wall of defenders. Turkey up 11, 3.5 minutes remaining. Starting to look promising for them today. Koksal drives in. Paynes just lets him go, and he misses. Framing again, another 3 for him. He drills it. Well, he plays professionally in Turkey. He likes the air here. So that makes it 77-69, an 8-point game. That gives them a little bit of more belief, Latvia, that they can overturn this deficit. And Koksal drives in, and nobody steps in front of him. Boy, he should be toasted tonight at the team dinner. He's been that good. He really, everybody, a lot of people played well, but he was the guy that really sparked him, I think. And Shanley got in there just a little bit too late, and Payne is so dangerous driving to the basket. Always a threat. Remember, he's been good at the free throw line today. Grazulis comes back in. And the first one is good. Well, the ball goes over to Ermis. Coming up on the 2-minute mark, 8-point lead again. Ermis has it. And this time he puts the shot up, and the basket is good. Now, it looked like he was about to fall down. Watch this. Well, you can't see. Yeah, the ball was knocked out. It was definitely in. And again comes Ermis. Shanley has it. 1:40 remaining now. Shanley wide open. 83-71. They love it. They love their national team, the 12 giant men. And it is not the result, certainly, that Latvia were looking for today, especially when they got off to such a great start. Break out the lights and the crowd. I think those are mobile phone lights, in fact. Kind of the trend that's happening in a lot of arenas, including in Turkey. field goal percentage, shooting percentage from 3. You know, the way it started, it was incredibly shaky for Turkey, but again, you never saw any panic with Ufuk Soruca, and he has just been, in my opinion, just a terrific appointment for this national team. 33-31 Latvia on top of Turkey in the rebounding. Skele. So final minute, 33 seconds. If Latvia are going to do it, they've got to do it now. Over to a wide open Grazulis. And for whatever reason, Beerson fumbled the ball away. And Freminus is not able to collect it. Freminus decides this time to go in, and the block is made. Freminus with Gaziantep in Turkey. Skele almost forces the turnover. So inside the final minute now. This one has just kind of gotten away from Latvia today. They were in good position, and Grazulis comes up with the block. Well, I'm pretty sure the fans don't want this thing to end. They're just having a great old time. There's Shanley again getting the block. Well, congratulations first and foremost to Turkey and their basketball federation and the city of Bursa for putting on quite a spectacle today. It's almost a packed house, it looks like, and a lot of dancing, singing, a lot of color, a lot of red, obviously, for Turkey. And it's again, it's a country that is passionate about its sports teams, and you can see that by the number of Turkish flags being waved in the crowd. So Payne is trying to guard the inbounds play. Not much time's left. They get it off just in the nick of time. Vekvagaris was arguing that they'd been out of bounds. And because they have fouls to give, you can see Ufuk Soruca saying, get the foul, get the foul. And don't forget, points differential in these games can be huge as well. So 14-point win at this stage is big. Oh, I see. He wanted the foul to get some of the other guys in the game that haven't played, so they can say that they made their appearances. Berk Ergulu and Tolga Getchim. And the drive and the miss by Skele. So Ermis has it, perhaps the last possession for Turkey. And Latvia, who made so many headlines this summer, is the highest scoring team on average at the Eurobasket, are going to fall to defeat here today at Turkey. And the follow again. Getchin, he attempts to get on the board. He misses. Now Panish draws the foul. So Panish at the line with 2.5 seconds remaining. First one is good. And what can you say? I mean, if you're Latvia, you're gonna have to rebound from this. You're gonna have to come back strong and be ready to go on Sunday when you host Sweden. So it's 85-73. Turkey win it over Latvia. Probably more pressure on Turkey in this game than Latvia because they're at home and they realize the importance of the home games. You simply you can't lose the home games. You know, a lot of questions about both of these teams with some new faces, but Turkey in the end were just too good. They won it 85-73. Hiru Tutoglu says, "Call me, I want to have a word." This is a team that's together, folks. This is what it's all about as you look at the shooting numbers, the stats, the rebounds, the assist totals, the steals, 12 steals. Says a lot about this game. 6 blocks for Turkey as well. And Mamatoglu with the 24 points. Utterly sensational for long stretches of this game. Koksal, again, should hear the applause today. 4 steals for Ermis. And Turkey having a little exchange with their crowd. And Ermis showing not just a good floor general, but also a good cheerleader. And Hidu Turkoglu, Hussein Besuk, the former internationals, looking on here as their players have a good time at the end. The Janis Panis ended up leading all scorers with 25 points with those 2 free throws right at the end. Here's Koksal. Might want to save some of that energy for your next game, guys. It's going to be a tough one. But these are the standings. Of course, Sweden and Ukraine will play later tonight in Sweden. So some of the highlights here at the second half highlights anyway, with most of them will be of Turkey. Clearly they were by far the better team. And the great follow here from Dosh Balbay. And Janis Panis, again, he had the game high 25 points. I was thinking they lacked a little bit of leadership in a way, but in the end, probably they just didn't. I think maybe there was a little bit of an inexperience factor for Latvia, including a coach. And I think Ufuk Sarica probably has the edge in that department because he's been a head coach for longer, and not only with Turkey, but you know he's coached different clubs and whatnot. And it's, you know, I think some of that showed today, but Vekvagars can certainly lead Latvia to a win in their next game. But they're going to have to be ready to play against Sweden, who I'm sure, win or lose tonight, are going to be crossing the Baltic Sea looking to get the win. Another dunk for Aldemir there. I think more important than anything, than the talent, than, you got to have talent. You're going to have talent at this level. But more important than anything, when you see a team that's playing together like Turkey, that celebrates together, that has the fans behind them, I mean, that bodes well for their chances. And we saw that throughout the game, and we saw it even right at the end there when the players were together in the huddle, out on the court, smiling, laughing, and then going to sing with the crowd and to do the cheers. It was a nice moment, really, for international basketball. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. It's been our pleasure to bring you the action here from Bursa, Turkey. One last time, Turkey win it, 85-73 over Latvia.